to my channel and to the final week of the Seek, Gather and Create challenge for this edition anyway. This is a challenge I run over on Instagram with Mel, Laura and Tina. I'll put the details down below. Each week we ask you to find 4 things, a bit like a scavenger hunt, and then you include those things in any kind of art project that you'd like. So today we asked you to find, let me get this right now, shells. So I've picked out this stamp that I made with a shell on it. Mustard, so I found this napkin here. The letter M. Now I've got this sort of handmade stamp here with lots of different letters, but I noticed there is an M on there, so I might use that. And stitching, which will come later. I think I'm just going to maybe get my sewing machine out. Now I really have no clue how this one's going to go. I've not got a picture in my head. I've not really got many ideas, so I'm just going to go with the flow with this one a little bit, I think. And so to start with, what I thought I'd do, so I'm working in these little boxes. I'm actually going to cut my box and flatten it out just to make it a bit easier. And I was thinking, it's the only thought I had really, is that I could then stitch the box back up and that would sort out my stitching prompt. So I'm just cutting down the sides of my box so that I can open it out. Okay, like so. And I'm gonna, I don't want to, I might have to just get some masking tape just to hold everything in place a little bit, I think, so that when it folds back up it doesn't go into a funny shape in the middle here. So I'm just going to tape down those bits there. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been taking part in the challenge this time round. We've had some absolutely fantastic creations. Some of the prompts haven't been that easy, I don't think, this time. So I think everyone's really excelled, and it's been brilliant to see everybody's work. And if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to post your work so that we can see it using the hashtag #SeekGatherCreate. There are one more chance to win some prizes from our sponsors. And we'll be back with the challenge again in the winter. So we run this challenge twice a year, in the winter and in the summer. So if you've enjoyed it, we'll be back. And you can take a look at past years that I've done on my channel here. I've got a playlist specifically for the Seek, Gather and Create challenges, so you can go back and have a go at past challenges as well if you wish. I've just slapped down some matte medium here, and I am just adding some random bits of collage that I've pulled, some book pages, some this is some tissue paper from the toilet company Who Gives a Crap. They come in all these lovely patterns. So I'm going to shove some of that down. Just getting started with it really. Okay, I'm going to give that a dry. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, that's more or less dry, and I'm coming in with some gesso. It's going to strengthen my box. It's going to mute the collage down so that I can work on top of it to create my next layer. This is generally my favourite way of starting a journal page. I like to start with collage just because it sort of is nice and straightforward. It's easy. It immediately gets some texture and pattern down on the page for you to work on top of. Breaks that blank up. And just starts getting you moving really. Okay, so there we have some gesso. Let's give that another dry. Okay, I think next I'm going to add the shell. Now this is probably the prompt that I was struggling with most this time round. I wasn't I could kind of mesh the other ones together, but I couldn't really see how this one was going to fit in. But we'll oh, that one didn't come that one didn't come out. Let's do some stamps and see if we can get a few shells on this. If anything, they're just going to add some pattern. Something like that. Let's add some colour to this. I'm going to grab some paint. Let's just grab some blue. That's what I have on my desk at the moment. So yeah, honestly, I really have no idea where this one's going. We'll just keep working, I think, and see what comes of it. Let's put some darker blue in. So this is a Payne's grey. Don't know. I've been drawn to blues at the moment, so that's why they're on my desk, and I might as well just use them because they're here. I'm going to dry that. Alright, that's dry, and I've pulled out some of that napkin, and now I've gone for the blues. I'm not sure whether this is actually going to work with the colour wise, but we'll see. So I'm just going to put some of that mustard down. It's got like a ginkgo flower pattern over the top of it, this one. Oops. Quite strange colours going on now. I didn't think about the mustard when I put the blue down. That sort of turns it green, doesn't it, whenever I lay it over. But yeah, not liking this at the moment. I think I might come back and add some more gesso in and see if we can rescue it. I think I'm making more of a mess. Okay, let's try it. Let's see if we can rescue this. Okay, it's not great, but it'll come together. Remembering this is going to be in a box rather than in flat, so actually that looks better, doesn't it, when you can't see it all. So anyway, let's put that to one side. I've grabbed my jelly plate out, and I've picked out a piece of material to get this M down. So I'm just trying to think of what I might stick with. That Payne's grey, so get some of that down on my jelly plate. Oh, I need a bit more than that. And then where's my plate? Me letter plate. I'm going to put that in onto the jelly plate, making sure that I get that M on there. Give that a good press. Okay, can you see the M's there? And I'm going to try and print that onto my piece of fabric here and see what we get. This might not work. Okay, there we go. Can you see? I've got the letter M. Faintly, but I did. Let me just pull up just a random scrap piece of paper here and pull up the rest of that. Right, put that to one side. So now I've got that, and I've got this. So I've got an M, I've got shells, I've got mustard. I need stitching. And then I need to bring it together all somehow. Oh dear, right. I've just pulled out this piece. This is not really mustard, it's orange, but I've pulled out this piece of fabric as well, which I might layer up with the M somehow. Anyway, well, let's pull some of that off. Just snip that down to give us the M somehow. Right, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm really just playing playing around with it. So, but I like that deep orange on the blue there, so, and I like the colours all together on there. That's quite nice. So what I'm going to do is go to my sewing machine. I have to do that off camera, and just stitch this together like so. Okay, and that's going to meet at the start of a focal point, I think. So I shall do that. I'll be back momentarily. Right, I'm back from the sewing machine. I stitched around the M onto this orange, and I also stitched it to the side so that it's attached when I actually create the box again. I also put a bit of machine stitching on the edges just to add a little detail, and I've pulled out one of the Tim Holtz photo booth images. I thought that she went quite nicely. So what I'm thinking is that she will stick there with the M, and I found the words talking to herself, because that's what I feel like I'm doing this morning with this one. So it'll end up with something like that, I believe, and I'm actually going to stitch the sides back up. So we've got the shell, we've got the mustard, we've got the M, and we'll have the stitching. So that's my plan. I'm going to find some thread to stitch the edges together. Let's have a look. Stick with orangey colour. I haven't got any mustard thread, so this is like a wall. Okay, we'll go with that because it goes with that orange there. Grab myself a needle. This might be too small a head. I shall be back when I've got a larger needle. I'm back. Bigger needle. Let's get this stitched up again. Oh, no, no.
That's going to work.
Sorry, that was my daughter popping in. She didn't know I was recording. So I'm just going to do like a little loopy stitch back through like this to re-stitch my sides back up. I'll do one side. You don't want to watch me stitching the whole thing up. But I know I've got my stitching already with the machine stitching, but I'm going to add to it. Add to it with this. Whoops, a couple more. It's going to be slightly wonkier than it was originally, I think, but I quite like that. Okay, so there's my stitched up edge. Let's tie that off and then I will crack on and do the others. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so you can see how it's all stitched up at the corners. So that's now how my box is looking. It's still not what I expected, but we're going with it. So let's grab some glue. I'm kind of keeping that M at an angle. Come on, glue. There we go, it's running out. So a bit of Fabri-Tac glue and kind of pull that in, sticking it at an angle like that. And then let's have her, it covers up that shell, but we've still got one there. Yeah. I'm going to try not to overthink it too much. I'm here doing this quite early in the morning because I've got to go and take my daughters to have some haircuts and shoe shopping for school. So we've got a busy day, probably an expensive day ahead. So I'm here trying to get this done while they're just getting up actually and getting themselves breakfast and getting themselves sorted. Right, so got my image in and some words. So what we see, we've got the M, we've got the shell, we've got the stitching, the mustard's there, if not obvious. I'm not quite sure if I want to add anything else or leave it as it is. I might do, I'm thinking a few splashes of some sort, but, or maybe a bit of gold to brighten it up a little. Bit of gold. Let's put some gold along the edges of my box. I'm going to smudge some in to the background a little bit. Can't go wrong with a bit of gold. Just having a little look now just to see if I want to add anything else in. Don't know. It's one of those ones that where I can't quite decide whether it's finished, whether it needs leaving alone or needs something else. I'm grabbing a bit of pink watercolour. Just a few little splashes. Have I got a mustardy one? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe, do I need a little bit extra of this? Just to bring the mustard back. A little bit more on the side there maybe? Yeah, let's go for that. Just feel like I've lost the mustard somewhere in there really. So a bit more matte medium. A little bit more in there just to bring that back. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that you've enjoyed the Seek, Gather and Create challenge this time round. Do head over to Instagram, check out what everyone else has been creating just by searching the hashtag. And like I say, we'll be back in the winter with another set of challenges for you. Right, take care for now. Bye.